Fala aí pessoal, tudo certo com vocês? Vai por aqui e é o seguinte, hoje trago para vocês The Stanley Parable, um jogo que fez bastante sucesso aí por esses dias que eu tava vendo e por isso resolvi trazer ele hoje para vocês. Aqui nessa introdução, o narrador vai falar que o Stanley é um trabalhador de número 427, ele trabalha numa empresa digitando uma sequência de números que todos os dias é passado para ele e ele fica digitando. Mas acontece que um dia ele para de receber esses números. Então ele vai investigar o porquê que ele parou de receber os números. E ele percebe que não tem ninguém na empresa dele, simplesmente. Então ele vai por trás do pessoal que tá sumido, que tá desaparecido, né? E a história é acompanhada desse narrador, que sempre está mandando fazer alguma coisa diferente. E eu vou pular, tentar pular essa tradução, não dá pra pular a tradução. Aí ó, ele tava num dia ó, e não recebeu sequência nenhuma pra ele digitar. É o escritório inteiro vazio. Nunca na história do escritório tinha acontecido isso. Alguma coisa estava claramente errada.
Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Ele levantou, deu uma olhada assim no seu escritório. Não dá pra interagir com nada. E não dá pra pular, velho. Que tipo de jogo que não dá pra pular?
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Aí agora tá falando que eu decidi, no caso o Stanley, né? Resolveu ir no refeitório. Desligar o computador aqui para economizar energia. Eu não tem interação com nada, galera. Desligar esse aqui também para economizar energia. Tem porta aberta lá, por que essa porta tá trancada? Pelo amor. Não tem nada. Agora aqui, pessoal, ele pede pra gente entrar nessa porta aqui da esquerda. Mas não, sou um garoto rebelde. Bom, Stanley é um garoto rebelde. Deixa eu passar. Quero voltar. Ele fala que o Stanley sabia que esse aqui era o caminho errado.
Wow, yes, this room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room. Thank goodness Stanley had taken this detour on his way to the meeting room. Life without having experienced this room was now too horrible even to consider.
Quero uma bebida.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Agora ele pede, galera, pra entrar na primeira porta à esquerda que tivesse aberta. Será? Ó, sem a luz, apaga a luz. Ah, dá uma olhada aqui.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Stanley é tão ruim de seguir direções. Para de fechar essas portas, velho. Por que não deixa a porta aberta? Não pedi pra fechar a porta.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing in your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact but in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley led from the platform.
Eu achei que dava pra ir chegar lá
Good job,
no corredor.
Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Parabéns, Stanley. Todo mundo acha que você é muito poderoso. Tá, vamos tentar mais uma vez então, galera.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting.
Galera, é só um detalhe aqui.
Simply missed a memo.
Esse jogo aqui, ele tem diversos finais diferentes. Quem manda no final da história, então, é você. Você decide o final.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
É. Vou conseguir descer lá naquele corredorzinho.
It's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting.
Ai, droga!
But in his Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Agora o cara tá falando uma coisa. Ah. Pouco não consegui pegar o corredor. Tá, mas esquece o corredor então. O telefone tocando. Sim.
Good morning. Thank you for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work. Can you verify that this is correct? Excellent. Your order will arrive shortly. Thank you again for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
Mano, o computador desligou sozinho ali. Cara, parece que agora os eventos estão sendo diferentes. Mais uma nada aqui.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he
Tá, galera, chegando lá naquela parte, vamos apenas seguir o caminho natural das coisas. Não vou mais ficar me suicidando, não.
Stanley for the first, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Ah, pegadinha de malandro.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Aqui o narrador fala que a gente começou com o pé esquerdo e que ele não é inimigo do Stanley.
The fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Para de fechar essa porta.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. Oh, no, you can't. Did you just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I
Eu sou
didn't even think
rebelde.
that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's It's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything.
Eu sou cara rebelde, por isso não peguei o telefone e desliguei.
What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have...
Aqui ele tá falando, galera, que durante a checagem dos scripts lá, ele percebeu que não se trata do Stanley. Ele se trata, na verdade, de uma pessoa real, realmente. Real, realmente. Nossa. Tá. Na situação é que o narrador percebeu que é uma pessoa de verdade que está jogando e não o Stanley. Por isso que a gente está sendo capaz de tomar nossas próprias decisões.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person, but if used incorrectly can also be the most dangerous. For example,
aqui um vídeo sobre a escolha.
A hypothetical real person named Stephen has a choice. He could spend years helping improve the quality of life for citizens of impoverished third world nations. Or he could systematically set fire to every orphan living in a 30-kilometer radius of his house. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
Pratique. Senhora, tela azul. Meu Deus do céu. Que esse tela azul escrito pratique.
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Galera, como que esse tratorzinho veio parar aqui? Ah, que sei lá. Tem esse caminho? Ah, mas aqui eu tô fazendo caminho de volta, velho. Não queria fazer o caminho de volta.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the...
Ah, tá de zogo minha face. Colocaram os cerquinhos aqui pra não pular. Aí. Que jogo troll, velho.
It seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Atenção, não pule do acionamento. Poderá causar morte. Ó, vambora então, né? Chato. Não gostei.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending. The story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world. Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Haha.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Não tô gostando disso. O caminho aqui já tá tudo zoado já. Não, mas não quero voltar. Quero FTP, velho. Tá, e agora?
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe after everything we talked about that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing
Eu destruí sua história? Ah, larga a mão, fi. O cara tá falando que eu destruí o trabalho dele.
To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
Uou! Ó, o cara tá zoando tudo. Ah, não, velho. O cara me zoou, velho.
I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child.
Nossa, chamou de criança.
My story... If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Galera, sou muito troll, véi.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry.
Ué, pulou de novo?
Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and
Tá, agora eu vou acertar então, galera.
First. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Aí, ó, aí agora ele não fala nada. Aí chega aqui.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Ah, ele arrumou.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Bom, galera, então aqui vocês podem pegar e deixar a bola acima dentro de você. Bola upside. Deixa a bola dentro de você. These slides to sure employ the... Ok. Quem que tá mudando os slides? Quem que tá mudando esses slides? Foge. Não é de Deus, não. E agora?
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Não dá nem pra ir lá pra baixo, né?
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Nightshark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Cadê o negócio do código?
Stanley spoke the code. Nightshark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall. I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
Tá, como que eu vou falar com esse negócio?
Okay, fine, you're not gonna do it, but you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect.
Eu
The
acredito.
kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there.
Cara, isso aqui que eu falo com o negócio aqui, velho. O jogo não recebe o som que eu falo. Não tem como falar. As teclas aqui não funcionam. Esse aqui é o Stanley.
Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me?
Galera, eu consegui já zerar o jogo então? É isso?
Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything.
O narrador tá forever alone, galera. Bom, galera, é isso. Se gostou do vídeo, deixe seu joinha aqui embaixo. Favorite o vídeo, que isso ajuda muito na divulgação, ajuda de verdade. Se não for inscrito no canal ainda, se inscreva. Divulgue seus vídeos para os seus amigos, seus familiares. Obrigado por ter assistido. Até a próxima. Fui.
That's all right.
Eita porra!